Hello, welcome to the Hub Online Network for your March 25th COVID-19 update for Ashcroft, Cache Creek, and the surrounding area. My name is Gareth, and let's get started. All right, so again, my name is Gareth. If you want to give me a call during this live broadcast, you can call me at 250-457-0538. I have the phone right here to answer your calls. To start off with, I just want to give a quick update to the world as a whole right now, just give you guys some numbers. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but these are the current numbers. We have 461,792 confirmed cases of the coronavirus around the world. We have now surpassed the 20,000 deaths. We're at 20,774. Again, this is around the world. There's 12,691 total serious cases, but there are over 100, there's 108,288 total recovered people. So that's a positive. There's lots of people recovering, more so than the number of deaths, which is a positive. Okay, so a little bit of house cleaning for my part. Tomorrow and Friday, we're going to go live a little bit later in the day, meaning probably around 4 o'clock. The reason for this is I'm trying to stay as current as possible. The Bonnie Henry and Adrian Dix updates sort of changed their time. So at the beginning of the week, they started at noon, and now they're starting at 3. So I'm going to reflect my time to be able to encompass their report in my report. So tomorrow and Friday, we're going to go live at 4 p.m., not 1 p.m. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll also be interesting for us to see how many people watch live. So we're doing our videos at 11, now we're doing them at 1, now we're going to do them at 4. So we'll see where you guys like to watch, and we'll try maybe next week just go live at those times and be a day behind if that's sort of the consensus. My lovely wife is at home monitoring the chats. So Amelia's there, Jessica is around but not available to do it today, and so my wife is doing it. Thank you, Amy, for doing that. And let's get started. Oh, last bit. So yesterday we were having some technical issues, both during the live stream, so we had a lot of lagging. I'm hoping that the lagging is not there today. But then after the lagging stopped, and this was a big thing on Facebook yesterday, all live streams over the last however long disappeared for a brief period of time. Hopefully that isn't a thing today. There's a lot of speculation out there about broadband and how much drain is being put onto the internet system as a whole. But hopefully this isn't a problem, and yeah. So anyway, moving on. So where are we here? As more cases of COVID-19 are identified in the BC interior every day, the question of where those cases are coming from begins to weigh more heavily. While the health authorities will not release numbers on a city-by-city basis, the Interior Health Authority said you should assume that COVID-19 is circulating in your community and not according by following the advice of the provincial health officer. So, Interior Health has decided not to tell us where the cases are, who has the cases. What they want to say is assume that it's just everywhere and self-isolate. So now here is a reminder from the Cache Creek office. So reminder that from 11 a.m. to noon every weekday, Mayor Tallarico and CAO Dawson will be available to answer questions over the phone or email. You can call 250-457-6237 or email admin@cachecreek.info. So that's a great service. I actually did an interview with Mayor Tallarico yesterday, which I'll be posting this afternoon, and where he talks a little bit more about that specifically. So if you have questions or concerns in Cache Creek, you can call them between 11 and noon every weekday. Here's an update from Safety Mart. Now it is a little bit lengthy, so I'll try and paraphrase a little bit. I know how people do not like me reading just pages and pages of stuff. But So we now have plexiglass at all of our tills for the protection of our cashiers and customers. Thank you to Colin and his Quality Glass for installation. Now you can go see a picture of this on the Safety Mart Facebook page. It looks pretty cool. I haven't been to the grocery store today, so I'm not sure exactly what it looks like, but thank you, Quality Glass, for setting that up. I'm sure it makes the cashiers feel a lot safer. But Safety Mart is asking that people practice social distancing, keep shopping when shopping, if able, to please leave the family at home or keep the number of people down in the store. Don't treat the shopping trip as a social outing. Come in, get what you need, go through the till, and move on. No, don't bring in reusable bags. No bottle returns right now. They have high traffic points. Oh, okay, so high traffic points are being sanitized regularly. As always, sandy wipes are available. Due to unprecedented demands, quantities may be limited and they are unable to issue rain checks at this time. Please respect the closed sign at the cashier tills. Our entire team is working very hard to keep the store running and clean. All cashiers available are already on the tills, so we ask for your patience. And we are always available to answer your questions, but if possible, limit calls to the store as our cashiers are experiencing higher volumes. Thank you from the management staff. Also, to those who travel outside the country and have returned to self-quarantine, our staff thank and appreciate you for staying home and finding other means to shop during your 14 days. So thank you for that. Both Ashcroft and Cache Creek have suspended their volunteer firefighter practices. They're still available as an emergency service, but their practices have been suspended at this time. So please keep that in mind. And thank you to our firefighters for doing everything you do, as well as our ambulance and RCMP. Thank you all. So Sam's Diner is still open for takeout, and in fact has a takeout window on the side of the building, so you don't have to go in. Just give them a call. So it looks pretty cool. Reminds me of an old style fish and chips place. Hungry Herbie's has one of these types of windows too. So instead of having to go into the building, you can just go up to the side of the building. They'll give you your food outside of the window. However, the River Inn is closed. Now I missed this announcement, so this came out on the 20th of March. So the River Inn is closed for now until this craziness ends for a bit. They're hoping that they can return on the 27th. I doubt that's going to happen. But the River Inn is closed. We do also have a bunch of stuff from, I'm trying to branch out a little bit, and thank you. I'm trying to branch out a little bit and get Lillooet, information from Lillooet, Lytton, Clinton, Logan Lake. I've been having some issue finding information about Logan Lake and Lytton so far, so if you know anything about those areas, please send it in to me. You can email us at hon@ashcrofthub.com. Again, we're looking for information on Lytton and Logan Lake. Thank you very much. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about Lillooet for a second. Effective immediately, the District of Lillooet is closing all playground structures. We are also closing Cayush Creek Campground to both day use and overnight camping, and we are suggesting that local hotels and B&Bs consider refusing or canceling all bookings to discourage visitors. Now that's something I haven't heard yet, is hotels shutting down. So that's an interesting one coming out of Lillooet. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau unveiled the new benefit package Wednesday during his daily press conference on the steps of Redo Cottage in Ottawa. The aid will provide $2,000 per month and it will last for 4 months, and applications should be available on April 6th. Trudeau said the money will be paid out every 4 weeks and be available from March 15th until October 3rd. So you'll be able to get up to $2,000 per month, and this is for, I believe, anybody that is affected by the coronavirus. So if you've lost your job due to this pandemic, this is something for you. Again, the aid will provide $2,000 per month and will last for 4 months, and applications should be available on April 6th. Trudeau said the money will be paid out every 4 weeks and be available from March 15th until October 3rd. So, Now this next one is in Vancouver, but it's an update on people are very worried about things shutting down and martial law type things happening. So this is in Vancouver, but the city can fine businesses up to $50,000 and people $1,000 if they ignore the orders meant to keep groups apart. So it isn't a thing here as of yet, but in Vancouver, that's the thing that's happening. So expect that to possibly ripple its way out to other municipalities moving forward in the future. Before we move on to Clinton, let's take a look at what Jessica has as we talk. Okay, so now information from Clinton. Now this is going to be kind of late information because we're just starting to take a look at facts from Clinton during this stuff. So I'm sorry this is old news to some of you, but Clinton Health Center will be closed Wednesday, March 25th, Thursday, March 26th, and Friday, March 27th. The playground at Redcon Park is now closed until further notice due to COVID-19. Under the direction of council and the social distancing requirements, only 2 gallery members will be allowed to be present at the council meeting today, March 25th, 2020. I'm not sure who those members are, but only 2, gallery members. So only 2 people from the public will be allowed to go to the council meeting. The village office is closed to the public until further notice. If you need to come in, please call 250-459-2261 to make an appointment. The Clinton Chinese restaurant is closed until further notice. That includes takeout services as well. The fitness room is now closed until further notice. And now let's go back to Lillooet, where the taxi ceases operation. So no more taxi in Lillooet right now. The March 24th, so last night, the March 24th, 2020 Committee of the Whole meeting was canceled. The purpose of this cancellation is to set up the appropriate protocol and technology to facilitate a public meeting during periods of isolation ordered by the provincial health officer. The meeting tomorrow, March 26, 2020, is still scheduled to proceed. If electronic means of viewing the meeting can be set up, it will be published on the Facebook page on the district website. Again, that is in Lillooet. So, the next one is one of those bigger things. So I'll try and paraphrase it as much as I can. Now the reason I want to read as much of this as possible is because it comes from the fire department in Lillooet, and it has a lot of good information in there. Some of it we've already talked about, but I'll just sort of read the first sentence on each paragraph. So from the Lillooet Fire Department, let's be responsible and safe. These are not ordinary times. I am writing this post to see, as I see it necessary, to inform the public that we have seen a couple of grass fires in the surrounding Lillooet area get out of hand already in the last couple of days. The natural vegetation is dry at this time, and we need to be cautious while burning. As the COVID-19 situation evolves and we are being asked to stay at home and self-isolate, understandably people are turning to do yard work. That is good. Keep yourselves occupied, but we need to understand a few things. The District of Lillooet Fire Department has seen more than usual increase in burning permit applications in this last week. We ask that you take extra precautionary measures to ensure that your fires do not get out of control. You may not realize it, but your first responders, fire, rescue, ambulance, law enforcement agencies, BC Wildfire Services, utility agencies, etc., are also being asked to self-isolate as much as possible to keep personnel healthy to serve your community when called upon. Your first responders are sworn to duty and we will respond to emergencies when called, but the public needs to realize that the first responders are at risk of being exposed to the COVID-19 virus every time they are called out. The fire department has measures in place and we are preparing as best we can to protect our personnel and the community. But if everyone does their part, follow the district burning regulations, taking extra precautionary measures to ensure that an accident does not happen, everyone benefits. So that, I think, is good advice for not just Lillooet, but for Ashcroft, for every municipality. If you can actually avoid burning stuff right now, that might be a good thing to do. I mean, the hospitals are having such a run on them already with all this COVID-19 pandemic stuff that you don't want to hurt yourself and have to end up in the hospital right now, do you? So anyway, very good stuff. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but that's very good. You can find that, the rest of his note on the Lillooet Facebook page. And last but not least, out of Lillooet, to help ensure the health and safety of the public, to help limit the spread of COVID-19, the District of Lillooet has made the decision to close the rec center and municipal hall until further notice. This is an update from the British government of BC about liquor and cannabis regulation branches. So the sale and delivery of packaged liquor for off-site consumption with the purchase of a meal. Oh, that's... So right now, liquor primary and food primary licenses permitted to remain open during the COVID-19 health crisis. So, oh, I have a call. I have a caller. Hello, this is Gareth with the Hub Online Network. Who is this?
Hi, Gareth. It's Debbie Toohey calling.
Debbie Toohey, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Wonderful. Thank you for calling in. You are live on our show.
Good to know.
So how's your business?
I'm here in my house too.
Oh, good. How is your business doing right now?
Well, we've had to make a tough decision on the business.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, places like Safety Mart have put up the plexiglass, that sort of thing. However, it's not really worthwhile for me to do that, so I have decided that Friday will be our last day that we are open until this is finished and done.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. It was a tough one. You know, we're still doing business, but I have to think of the safety of my staff and myself. I'm over 60, so, you know, I'm not supposed to really be there. And my staff's family, and some of them have young kids or grandkids, and they want to be, you know, able to see them.
Right. Well, that's probably, I mean, realistically, it's probably for the best,
Yeah.
especially right now. So that's, as my dad would say, that's an adult decision.
It is, and it was a tough adult, you know, decision to make.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it with the staff, and I mean, I have the best staff in the world. We talked about it with them over the last week or more, and I had laid off one person, and then I told the schoolgirls yesterday that, you know, I wouldn't be able to keep them going, and I mean, I don't want to expose them either. And then my last two full-time people, I let them know this morning that Friday will be our last day.
So that being said then, do you have stock that you're trying to not get rid of, but get out into the community now? Are you going to be making anything new?
We have the bread. Most, you know, a lot of our things can be frozen, and you know, a lot of the stock, nothing's going to go bad. But we definitely will want to be cleaning out the shelves over the next couple of days, and we'll still make fresh cinnamon buns up until Friday.
Okay.
You know, for people to have, but definitely we won't be, you know, making huge things. I am hoping, we are trying to help out the Skeechuson Indian Band. They are doing food hampers, so I will be going in and being closed and doing like 200 loaves of bread just for them, so that they are able to feed the people out there.
Right.
So I'm still trying to do things like that, you know, to help people that definitely are in need. And, you know, I mean, if anybody was desperate for food, we have things in our freezer and that sort of thing. So, you know, we want to be helpful to the community, but we don't want to be exposing ourselves.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for letting us know that. So as a citizen, I'm going to try and get some bread from you over the next 2 days then?
Yes, I expect that we might have a few people doing that. We do have some faithful customers, that's for sure.
Oh, good. Okay, well, thank you for phoning in. I appreciate that. Thank you for the update. And
I just want everybody in the whole, in the community to be safe. I was talking to my daughter up in Dawson Creek, who had been on holidays down in the States. And I just wanted to mention to people, she was talking to me, and she's at home with her 2 boys, not able to see her husband yet. And she says, Mom, people need to realize there's a difference between quarantine and isolation. She says she is under quarantine because she has come from the States, gone through airports, and then drove home. So she says she's under quarantine, and that is different than being under isolation. People that are self-isolating are doing that by choice. People that are coming from the States, which is including people, snowbirds, those sort of people, they're actually under quarantine. And she had to, at the Calgary airport, she actually had to sign and read out loud a statement saying that she would quarantine. So that I thought was an interesting statement, that people maybe hadn't thought about yet.
oh, well, I didn't know that she had to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were making them do that at airports. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, she said airports have to be one of the worst places.
Right?
For sure. So, yeah. So those people should be quarantined.
Do you have any other...
We're being told, and she has a paper that says that's how it is.
Wow. Do you have any other advice for as a councilwoman, do you have any advice for the village of Ashcroft?
Just be safe. I love everybody here, and I have family here. I have elderly parents that are still living here, and, you don't think it's going to happen, but you hear every day how much closer it's getting to home. It's within 100 kilometers of here that we know of. So, it's only a matter of time, and it will be here. And if we can, make things better for us, stay at home, do your yard work. We could win the Communities in Bloom Award this year because everybody can be out there doing their yard work.
That's a good point.
Yeah, make Ashcroft look beautiful, and sooner or later we'll be able to get together and gather and socialize again, other than by telephone or other ways that we're doing it.
Right. Well, stay safe, Debbie.
Okay, you too, Gareth.
And again, thank you for phoning in. I really appreciate that.
No problem. Great talking with you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was Debbie Toohey of the Ashcroft Bakery. Thank you again for phoning in. What a great personality to have phone in. So, where am I now? Where is this from? I'm not sure. Oh, so this is a local COVID-19 response from Clinton. Again, this is a few days old. So area, and I'm pretty sure that several other municipalities have also gotten in on this, so this might represent a bunch of different areas. Local COVID-19 response. Area leaders from First Nations and local governments recently met with the area health providers and First Nation responders and will continue to meet to discuss local issues and concerns regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. We are closely following direction and advice from the federal and provincial agencies overseeing the response to this health emergency. When you see our facilities being closed or restricted, we are doing so for your safety as well as the safety of our workers. Essential services such as water, sewer, and garbage collection will continue. Our fire departments, the RCMP, paramedic services, ambulance services, the pharmacy, and health facilities will remain in operation. Oh, I have another caller. Look at that. Hello, this is the Hub Online Network. You're talking with Gareth.
Hey, Gareth, it's Vicky.
Hey, Vicky, how you doing?
Hey, good. I was just trying to get some of our snowbirds who've recently come back from out of country to call in. I've been trying to tag some people on the chat, and maybe Karen Savage, if you're listening, or Andrea Walker, I tagged you too, or Jack Jays. It was interesting to hear Debbie talk about the difference between quarantine and isolation. It'd be interesting to hear what all of these people's experiences is, and especially some of them who've already been quarantined for quite some time. How does that feel?
Right. No, that would be great. If they are watching, please give us a call at, where's my number here? 250-457-0538.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Vicki, for calling.
And thank you, Gareth, for keeping us up to date and connected.
I do what I can. All right. Bye. So Jessica is texting in, make sure you do the TNRD update. Jessica, if you could please actually email me that in case I don't have the same one that you do. I will check my email and read that as well. Thank you very much for watching, Jessica. So actually, let's go into, so the other day was the Ashcroft Council meeting. They did talk about the COVID-19 pandemic, so I'm just going to play a snippet of the council meeting here. It's about 5 minutes long.
All right, so CEO Dick, do you have any further information here? I've got a couple of things to add.
Oh gosh. Yes.
Where to start?
Where to start? So we have closed, as of today, we've closed our park, our playgrounds at the park to the public. Just a lot of other municipalities are doing that as well, and we thought there's no way we can keep them disinfected and clean. So to remove that risk and liability to the village, there's yellow caution tape around them. At this point in time, the grassy areas are open, so families can kick a ball, do whatever, and still be able to get out into the parks and enjoy those. Oh my goodness, hold on, I don't even know what's on that report anymore. Staff is continuing. We've closed the office, I think, since that report. That started today, effective as of today. We've got one of our employees is struggling with the cleansers that we've been using, so she's going to be working from home or coming in after hours. We're just trying to be flexible with schedules. Our public work's the same. We're trying to make sure that our social distancing is in place, that they're protected, but also that they're meeting, following Dr. Bonnie Henry's orders, and that we're trying to be as compliant as possible while providing all of our services. Oh, other than that, what else have we got in here? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there are other things as soon as we're done that I will think of, but perhaps Mayor remembers.
Okay, CFO Ballard.
Your Worship, I just wanted to say the community has been good in usually following the orders, but there are instances of people getting together which have come to light, so I'd like to reiterate that they do not organize. We are taking away keys or insisting that village facilities not be used for any gatherings. There was a case over the weekend which by chance since came by and noticed something, so that was taken care of as well. So I'm hoping the public does be conversant of this and not disobey the health officer's recommendations. Parks are open, as the CAO said, for families to use. Be conscious if there's more than a few people that you keep your social distance. Do activities which don't spread, but do use the parks. I have two young kids, and they're busy using the park, with kicking the ball around, throwing the basketball. Activities which are not, adding to the risk. So kids cannot stay cooped up too long. So we do have lots of spaces outdoors, and it's something we can use, but overall the community needs to be taking this seriously.
Okay, thank you. I took part in a conference call today between mayors, regional district chairs, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and the Solicitor General, Minister Farnworth. And one of the things that came out of that is that the province is going to be issuing several ministerial orders over the next few days pertaining to things that will basically give them more control. So one of the first things they're doing is they're going to be taking over the shipment of goods, people, and services, the coordination of the shipment of goods, people, and services around the province, whether it be by road, rail, or air, because something that is starting to come to light is some of the more northern and remote and rural communities are finding serious disruptions to their supply chains as suppliers prefer to stay or they don't have enough. I've heard a lot of instances of orders, you know, a store will order something and the order comes in half. They're shorted by half their order. So I think the province is seeing this getting worse as things happen to the supply chain, so they want to ensure that northern and rural, remote communities are not shortchanged at the expense of, you know, southern communities don't get more. Something I expect to see coming down is superseding all the states of local emergency that have been declared and giving all municipalities more power to enforce if they see a business open that should not be, or they see people not doing social distancing or self-isolating if they need to be. But we're still waiting for direction on what that is going to look like. And I was speaking to Gary McIsaac, who's the executive director of UBCM today, and he was on the phone call as well, took away much of what I did, and UBCM is writing to the province to try and get clarification about this as quickly as possible, so that communities, municipalities can know what this is going to look like on the ground, what enforcement powers do you have. I also spoke with Constable Gothic, who is the acting detachment commander here in Ashcroft, about an instance that came to my attention or was brought to my attention. He has dealt with it. But he and Mayor Tallarico and Cache Creek and myself are going to be in contact. They're having daily briefings as well at the RCMP. So we're going to be, the three of us are going to get in touch as like a round table thing, by electronically obviously, just to update on what's happening in the communities, what steps are being taken, safety and public safety issues that we see as concerns. Constable Gothic indicated that you know, they are there to help out and to be a presence in the community. One of the things they're going to be doing is the traffic. We have two members on traffic right now, and one of them is going to be when he gets back from Clinton, he's helping out there because they're down because of people being on vacation, just doing more patrols through the community in a cruiser, just to let people know that the police are still out there, to reinforce that, you know, to be reassuring. That you know, everything, we're still keeping an eye out, etc. So those are my updates.
I just wanted to add to that, that was one of the things that we actually noticed in our community, living downtown. My husband said, I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot more police around. So we're definitely noticing a lot more police presence in the community. And I said, well, there's nothing going on the highways. You know, you know, there's a lot less, so they can be more seen.
That's right. One of the concerns that's coming up when I spoke with Mayor Christian in Kamloops yesterday, and when I spoke with Constable Gothic today, is that the directives, as more and more businesses close down, and while some, such as the bakery for now, are able to still be open with people inside, a lot of business and offices are just shutting. The lights are turned off, the door's locked, there's no one in there. And the concern is that this does present more of a target for thieves, would-be burglars, etc. Now obviously it's more of a concern in Kamloops because they do have drug and gang issues that we do not have here, but still, just as people are coming to our small communities to get toilet paper, they might come to our small communities thinking it's going to be easier pickings, perhaps, than somewhere else. So that's just something that's on everyone's radar. So thank you for this, and we will continue to update the website and the post office, putting the notices up there as well. And I also told Constable Gothic that if he had anything that he wanted us to include in our notices, anything sort of quasi-governmental, like the school district, for example, or the RCMP, that if they had a specific message they wanted to get out, we would be happy to put that on anything we were putting out, just to spread it even more.
My microphone's on now. Sorry about that. So thank you to the Ashcroft Council. I just got a message here to remind people, if you're watching from the Sage and Sands Mobile Home Park, the office for the park is closed. If you're looking to pay your pad rent or have any other questions, you can call 250-457-0261 and talk to Amelia, or 250-457-7041 and talk to Dawn. And if you're sitting at home and want to talk about what's going on with you during the COVID-19 pandemic, you can give me a call at, come on, there it is, 250-457-0538. Moving right along, we have the joint statement from the COVID-19 sort of task force, which includes Adrian Dix and Dr. Bonnie Henry. Again, this is why we're going to be moving to 4 o'clock in the afternoon to let these guys give their update at 3 p.m. So we can have it daily, up-to-date information for you. So this is from yesterday. So today we are providing case updates for 2 24-hour reporting periods, March 22nd, 23rd, and then March 23rd through this morning. So again, this was yesterday. In the first reporting period through March 23rd, they had 67 new cases for a total of 539 cases in BC. In the last 24 hours, they've had another 78 new cases for a total of 617 in British Columbia. This represents 145 new cases since they reported the previous morning. 2 additional, so there was another outbreak in another sort of group home down in Vancouver, but every health region in British Columbia has patients with COVID-19. 333 are in Vancouver Coastal Health Region, 194 are in Fraser Health Region, 44 are in the Vancouver Island Health Region, and 41 are in the Interior Health Region, and 8 are in Northern Health Region. So in Interior Health, we have 41 cases as of yesterday, and tomorrow we'll have a new update with what's going on from there. In total in BC, we only have 13 deaths. I shouldn't say only, 13 deaths is still enough. So again, this is as of yesterday. So now we're kind of getting into material that I read over in yesterday's broadcast, but again, we were having technical issues and not a lot of people saw yesterday's thing, so I just want to quickly go over the stuff that we talked about yesterday because it's all relative. So from Ashcroft, area leaders from First Nations and local government recently met with area health providers and first responders and will continue to meet to discuss local issues and concerns regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. When you see our facilities being closed or restricted, we are doing so for your safety as well as the safety of our workers. Essential services such as water, sewer, and garbage collection will continue. Our fire department, the RCMP, ambulance services, the pharmacy, and health facilities will remain operational. So this is very similar to what I read from Clinton, and Cache Creek has a very similar letter. So their main concern, with my interview with Mayor Tallarico yesterday, one of the main concerns of his is to make sure that the water, sewer, and garbage continues. So, yeah. Anyway, the hospitals have put on a limitation to visitors to the hospital, essential visitors only, to keep our patients, family, and staff safe, and in keeping with the provincial health officer's recommendations for social distancing, Interior Health is limiting visitors to essential visits only. This means visits are limited to compassionate care, such as end-of-life and critical illness, caregivers and support persons for assistance with feeding, mobility, etc. Do not visit if you are sick, if you are experiencing any cough, fever, or other respiratory symptoms, or believe you may have been exposed to COVID-19 or any other respiratory illness. Please do not enter any facility for the protection of our residents, patients, and employees. So here is the update from Thompson-Nicola Regional District. This is in regards to the solid waste services at eco depots and transfer stations, which are temporarily limiting accepted material during COVID-19 pandemic. So, Kamloops, BC, as of yesterday, in our continued efforts to slow the spread of COVID-19 while continuing essential solid waste services, the Thompson-Nicola Regional District will temporarily only be accepting bagged household garbage and recycling at all eco depots and transfer stations. In order to reduce the number of people visiting disposal facilities, we are asking residents to only bring in garbage generated from inside your home, kitchen, bathroom, etc., and ensure that it is bagged and tied closed. Please only bring in recycling from essential items such as paper, cardboard, and containers coming from the grocery stores or pharmacy. Customers are encouraged to limit their trips to an eco depot or transfer station and limit the time they spend on site. Please do not bring the following waste or recyclable materials. Do not bring, so no construction or renovation waste, no yard waste, no batteries, no used oil, no tires, no electronics and small appliances, no paint and other household hazardous waste, no scrap metal, no propane tanks, no appliances, no mattresses or furniture, no clothing donations. This is not the time to load up your truck from a home renovation project or spring cleaning. We saw a large increase in customers over the weekend and seem to be doing just that. So we're asking that you do not bring those things in. And I know that a lot of people are choosing to do a lot of stuff like this right now because, hey, you're home, why not? I know when I go home, that's what my wife and I are doing. We're trimming trees and we're mowing the lawn and all that sort of jazz to keep be outside and not be bored inside. But if you can hang on to that waste material, please do so. So, public notice from the Village of Cache Creek. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the deadline for the 10% discount on utility payments has been extended until May 31st. This will be reassessed again as we get closer to that date. Any residents over the age of 65 may claim the utility waiver over the phone for their primary residence. Mayor Tallarico and CEO Dawson will be available from 11 a.m. until noon every day to answer any questions you may have. Another announcement from the Village of Cache Creek. Due to COVID-19 outbreak, the Cache Creek Village office will be closed to the public. Staff will still be on site to answer any questions over the phone. Payments can be made through online banking, over the phone, or by check through the mail. Burn permits can be issued over the phone. If you must come to the office, please call first. The public are encouraged to only... the rest of it talks about the council meetings, which is done now, so that is not relevant. Work BC and Community Futures is closed until this pandemic is over. That's what this one is about. I'm going to read this one in its entirety. This is from School District 74. But you know what? I'm going to read this after we listen to Jessica's last video for today. So check this out. Again, thank you, Jessica, for that. So scrolling through the comments, I just want to point this out. Jan Morrison says, Interior Health has also stopped all outpatient services from the hospital. Now at this time, I actually have a CT scan on Monday, so I'm wondering if that might be affected. I have sent me a confirmation piece of paper by mail, so I'll have to check that out. But thank you, Jan, for pointing that out. And now, going on to School District 74 update from yesterday. Dear families, on March 17th, the British Columbia government announced a suspension of all in-person classes for British Columbia kindergarten and grade 12 schools due to COVID-19. Since that announcement, the district has been working to create a plan for the continuity of learning for Gold Trail students. During the week of March 30th to April 3rd, you will be contacted by a teacher from your local school to discuss how learning can work for you and your children. We recognize that each family is unique and want to create a plan and a way of delivering learning that will, So, you know what? Ipso facto, what they're going to do is you're going to get a call from teachers and you're going to be able to come up with a plan on how to homeschool your child during this time and into the future. So they're going through yeah, I don't think that they're going to be expecting kids to be going back for the rest of this year at this time. What do I have in here? So Caribou Jade Shop, due to the COVID-19 outbreak, we will be closed to the public until further notice. Our online store remains open and new products will be added and orders will continue to be filled. Caribou Clear Water customers can call 250-457-6601 to be added to the scheduled home deliveries in Ashcroft, Cache Creek, and 16 Mile. Water can also be picked up at Grubstake in Cache Creek or Safety Mart in Ashcroft. Thank you for your understanding, and please keep yourself safe by avoiding unnecessary personal contact and practice social distancing. We will resume operations as soon as it is safe to do so. One thing that has come up over the weekend and the last couple of days is people that, so in town, there are people that have come home from trips. And most people know everybody else in town and they see someone that should be in self-isolation that isn't. So what has been asked of us, me, is to just explain what social distancing is, why it's important. So I have a few actual meanings of things. So, what does social distancing mean? This means making changes to your everyday routine in order to minimize close contact with others, including avoiding crowded places and non-essential gatherings, avoiding common greetings such as handshakes, limiting contact with people at higher risk, e.g. older adults and those in poor health, keeping a distance of at least 2 arm lengths, approximately 2 meters from others as much as possible. Here's how you can practice social distancing. Greet with a wave instead of a handshake, or a kiss, or a hug. Stay home as much as possible, including for meals and entertainment. Shop or take public transportation during off-peak hours. Conduct virtual meetings. Host virtual playdates for your kids. Use technology to keep in touch with friends and family. And if possible, use food delivery services or online shopping. Exercise at home or outside in your yard. And work from home. And always remember to wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds and avoid touching your face. Cough or sneeze into the bend of your arm. Avoid touching surfaces people touch often. Now the next one is self-isolation. So, what is self-isolation? Self-isolation is when you've been instructed to separate yourself from others with the purpose of preventing the spread of the virus, including those within your home. If you are ill, you should be separated from others in your household to the greatest extent possible. Now, if you're sitting at home and you're saying to yourself, I'm one of those people that just wants to be out in public despite the fact that I was on a trip to Mexico or the United States, and you don't see any problem in going out and being in groups, please give me a call. I might be wrong. Prove me wrong. Give me a call at 250-457-0538 and tell me why you shouldn't have to follow those guidelines and regulations. Even if you do not have symptoms, it is recommended to self-isolate for 14 days if you have traveled anywhere outside of Canada, including the United States of America. If you live with, provided care for, or spent extensive time with someone who has tested positive for the COVID-19 or is suspected to have COVID-19, or who has respiratory symptoms, fever, cough, shortness of breath, that started within 14 days of travel outside of Canada. If you have COVID-19, but you don't have symptoms that need you to go to the hospital, quarantine. What quarantine means, this is a state, period, or place of isolation in which people or animals that have arrived from elsewhere or been exposed to infectious or contagious diseases are placed. So, if you have symptoms and you're waiting to be tested, anything like that, stay home, quarantine yourself. Again, this is very, very vital. Let's just take a look at these numbers again here. Let's see, where is it? Because there are just shy of 500,000 people that have this right now around the world. And let's just not keep it going. If we can stop it now by quarantining ourselves, by self-isolating, please do that. Now, I was talking earlier about the country as a whole has a package for people to be able to get money? Well, the province has that same sort of deal. So the BC government has announced a $5 billion aid package for individuals and businesses affected by the economic shutdown due to COVID-19 pandemic and restrictions, Premier John Horgan says. Horgan and Finance Minister Carol James announced their package March 23rd, saying $2.8 billion will go to people and $2.2 billion will go to small businesses, with payments flowing even as the details of the program are being worked out. Now, I want to thank Barbara Roden of the Journal for having all sorts of different articles and stuff there. She's a great resource, so please go to her website, go to her Facebook page, check all the links. Barbara's being a great asset as both mayor and running the newspaper. She wears a lot of hats, so I wanted to say thank you to her. And so there was a wildfire in Lytton a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if that's been dealt with, so if you have any information about that, you can email me at hon@ashcrofthub.com. Again, for information on Lytton and the wildfire there. Also, other information from Lytton. Again, Lytton and Logan Lake are two towns that I'm having difficulty finding information on during this pandemic. So if you have any information from those towns, please let me know. Quick shout out to everyone. Okay, yes. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone who has been sending in articles and updates. You have all been doing great, and this is a personal thank you from me to you. Keep it up. I would also like to open up again this a little more. So I'm looking for information on Logan Lake, Lillooet, Lytton, and Clinton. So please, if you're watching this, send in any information you have on those areas. But I want to thank Sheila, Vicky, Jessica, Dana, my wife Amelia, David, who else? Esther, Martina, Joyce. The list really goes on. You guys have all been great, so thank you all very much for all your help. Speaking of Joyce, this is an update she has from last week. Hi Gareth, just talked to Shelley at Equality. They will be doing pickup only 11 to 1. So meaning at Equality Project, if you're looking for something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, we're past the time now, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, you can go in, pick up something to eat from 11 to 1. You can't stay there and eat it. You can pick it up and go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if anyone would like to donate things like cheese, ham, tuna, peanut butter, jam, stuff for soup, you can drop that off between 9 and 11. So they are in need of, again, cheese, ham, tuna, peanut butter, jam, and stuff for soup. This is the Equality Project in Cache Creek. And that was an update from Joyce. Now, for one from Martina. Hi Gareth, I wanted to let you know that with a heavy heart we will be closing Soups On for the time being. However, it is our plan to provide vouchers at a couple of local restaurants for those who count on Soups On for a healthy meal. I'll let you know the names of those restaurants after I check in with them later today. Blessings and thanks. Martina goes on to say, what we're going to do is hand out vouchers to people who come in on Friday. So Soup's On, there'll be no soup, but there will be vouchers there for people to go in, again, this Friday, and names of the Ashcroft restaurants participating will be listed on the voucher. That is, we're going to hand out vouchers on Friday at the church. So thank you, Martina. You're doing a bang-up job. The Gold Trail School District is working to reduce the exposure and transmission of the COVID-19 virus and help in keeping students, families, and communities safe. School playgrounds are therefore closed effective immediately. This is a difficult time, and we look forward to opening playgrounds again when it is safe to do so. That is that. What do I have on the computer now? A couple of things. So don't forget, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms for COVID-19, go to covid19.thrive.health. This is a self-assessment tool to let you know if you might be needing medical attention. Most of it is asking you to call 811, but 811 has been inundated with calls. It's taking some people a long time, sometimes hours, to talk to a nurse on 811. So please do the self-assessment first before you call 811 so you can try and keep those lines a little bit less busy. I have another information from Jan Morrison, who's very active on our comments. Thank you, Jan. The federal government have a new quarantine act in place as of midnight tonight. All international travelers must self-quarantine. It is not a suggestion, it is a must. Thank you, Jan, for pointing that out. Yeah, so to everyone that is commenting, please comment all you want. As much as you can. I love the comments, and you can also email us information at hon@ashcrofthub.com. I am almost done, I promise. I know that this is a long one today, but I felt like we had a lot of stuff to get through. Another thing that has happened, this was in the States, mind you, they are talking about a drug that is showing promise in fighting the effects of COVID-19, but do not just take it. There was an instance of a couple that heard about this drug on the television, and they saw that something similar to the name was on a fish tank cleaner, and they said, that's the same drug, this is going to make us better. They both took that fish tank cleaner, and one of them died, the other one ended up in hospital. So unless your doctor tells you to take something, do not take it. Just because they're talking about it on TV does not make it 100% real, does not mean that if it's something that they use in fish tank cleaner, that is something that you can put into your body and it'll be okay. Do not take it. That's it for me. This has been an hour-long live stream. I just want to say thank you all very much. I appreciate the comments. Please share this video. There's lots of good information in here. It's all fact-based information, no assuming that something is right. This is all stuff that is handed out by our government leaders. So please share this on as many groups as you can. Let's try and get the word out. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. after Bonnie Henry and Adrian Dix's speech tomorrow and Friday. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's nip this COVID-19 in the bud and let's kick its ass.